10 Ways Orochimaru is a better father than Naruto. As part of Orochimaru's redemption, he's made an effort to be the best father to Mitsuki. And in some ways, he's done a better job than Naruto. A lot can be said about Orochimaru's redemption in the Boruto anime. In many ways, it felt cheap, wiping away all of his past deeds and pretending as if he hadn't ruined hundreds of people's lives. It's one of the few Naruto redemption arcs that felt out of the blue, given how the character was presented throughout the series. That said, his relationship with his son Mitsuki has been well built and filled with development. Oddly enough, he's even proven to be a better parent than Naruto on more than one occasion. 10. Orochimaru let Mitsuki form his own destiny. Given what an evil and uncaring man Orochimaru used to be, it's surprising that he was so supportive of Mitsuki breaking free from his clutches and forming his own path. Admittedly, Orochimaru did this in a way where Mitsuki didn't have much of a choice, but it's one of those rare moments where Orochimaru just wanted the best for someone other than himself. He and Log repeatedly put Mitsuki into the same test, taking 6 tries before Mitsuki finally rebelled, just as Orochimaru had always wanted. 9. Orochimaru made time in his research to attend a parent-teacher conference. The biggest thing that Orochimaru has over Naruto is the fact that he actually makes time for his child. Even if their relationship is mostly hands-off. Naruto's job may have a greater level of importance than Orochimaru's activities, but it's always been inexcusable how often Boruto is neglected by his father. Orochimaru finding the time in his research to attend something as menial as a parent-teacher conference is proof of that. While he wants Mitsuki to form his own destiny, Orochimaru is willing to be part of his life when needed. 8. Mitsuki was allowed to be a leaf shinobi. Following the parent-teacher conference, Orochimaru gave his blessing to both Mitsuki and Shino that his child can remain in Konoha and become a ninja. It's great that Orochimaru is willing to support his child in his goal and future plans, but that hasn't always been the case with Naruto. It shows how different Orochimaru's parenting style is to most. He wants Mitsuki to come to decisions on his own free will rather than be pressured. 7. Orochimaru went to great length to hide the fact Mitsuki was his child from the populace. Orochimaru had the self-awareness to know that despite Naruto and other higher-ups forgiving him, the general populace never would. Who could blame them either? He committed horrific crimes against the people of Konoha for a number of years. It's why he tried to hide the fact he was Mitsuki's parent and why he cautioned his son from ever using his true power in front of others to prevent them from finding out his lineage. He knew it would cause his son to become an outcast. 6. Orochimaru was always willing to help train Mitsuki. Training is a key facet to being a ninja, and many ninja parents take it upon themselves to start their children's training. Sasuke and Naruto eventually got this memo but went long periods without offering their kids assistance. The same wasn't true of Orochimaru, who was always there to lend a helping hand to Mitsuki. Orochimaru made it a point in Sasuke Shinden for Mitsuki to know his father was a reliable training resource to him. 5. Orochimaru took pride in every step of progress Mitsuki made. No matter the relationship between parent and child, children often want some form of approval from their parents. It was the entire story arc for Boruto during much of the start of the series. Unlike Boruto, Mitsuki never had to worry about his father's affections or pride in him. Orochimaru was always willing to dole out compliments to his son's progress. Even when he wasn't physically present to do so, such as during the Mitsuki disappearance arc. 4. Orochimaru offered to wipe Mitsuki's memories so he didn't have to feel pain. While it may have been another test to see how much Mitsuki was progressing as a human, it's still kind of Orochimaru to offer his son the chance to live a life without the pain of loss. Mitsuki had already been through so much by the time the Yugo arc rolled around that Orochimaru worried if Mitsuki's young heart could handle it. Thankfully, Orochimaru gave Mitsuki the choice. And Mitsuki chose to remember his time with Boruto. 3. Orochimaru saw Mitsuki as his son rather than a science experiment. When Mitsuki's body began deteriorating after he used Sage Mode to save his friends from Deepa, Orochimaru became a worried parent. Something even Log noticed about him. It was the moment where fans could truly see that Orochimaru saw Mitsuki as more than a science experiment. Everything else became secondary to his son's health. Even the fact that Kara had stolen Hashirama's cells from one of his old labs. 2. Orochimaru often kept tabs on Mitsuki's missions, either through Suigetsu or himself. One thing Orochimaru was always good at was keeping tabs on people, as shown with the Akatsuki after his departure and Sasuke. The Sannin was always in the loop, never left in the dark. He used the same means to keep tabs on his son. It not only let him hear how much Mitsuki was progressing as a person, but also let him make sure his child remained safe from harm. It's an instinct many parents have, even if Orochimaru would only call it proper research. 1. Orochimaru accompanied Mitsuki to the Land of Valleys to ensure his safety. When Mitsuki was recovering from the wound Sage Mode gave him, he got news from Suigetsu that Boruto and Sarada were in the Land of Valleys. Despite not being fully recuperated, he wanted to rush off to protect his friends. Orochimaru was impressed by his son's vigor to protect his friends and decided to accompany him to investigate the situation. It's a good thing he did, as Orochimaru was needed to deal with Victor and his false god tree.